All right, today is November 15th. This was a scheduled face-to-face faculty meeting, but we are going to change this and make this a virtual faculty meeting, which means that you have until the end of the day, Friday, November, was that 19th? Yeah, Friday, November 19th, to complete the exit slip that comes along with this virtual faculty meeting. So initially, I had planned on Miss Finley coming in and talking about some attendance issues. Not really issues, but some things to make note. One new addition that many of you have already noticed is if you look here, this new red chair. Now, this red chair is great because this is a quick indicator for this particular student to say that he has been marked absent in a previous class period. So if you click on this chair, it will show you that every class period this student has been marked absent. If you notice that the student is not marked absent in, say, second period, but was for homeroom first, third, fourth, then that's something that we need to check on. Were they absent all day and attendance on the other periods are not right, or did that second period teacher miss that student when taking attendance? So I love this new feature. Please do not mark tardy unexcused in PowerSchool. If they are late to your class, please do not mark them tardy unexcused in PowerSchool. Keep that on paper. They are still working out some problems with the way that PowerSchool is pulling attendance. These numbers that you'll see on the screen, this 3 and this 5, those are not completely accurate. Some of the numbers and absences that they are pulling are excused, but they're lumping them in as unexcused. So when we are pulling truancy, we're looking at each individual kid. So these numbers are not completely accurate. This chair is phenomenal. Use that. That's very helpful. Any other questions about the attendance? You can take a look at that with Miss Findley. Now, each faculty meeting that we have, whole group face-to-face, we are going to discuss a little bit on technology professional development. So today's technology professional development is Google Chrome. The Chrome browser is fantastic. Now, it's got some other issues with it, but for now, the Chrome browser has a lot of cool things in it. First, if you look up here in the top right, you'll see this W, which is the initial of my first name, and it's showing that I am logged into the browser. Now, this is different than this. This shows that I'm logged into Google. This shows that I'm logged into Google Chrome. Okay? This is the browser. If you click on this, you can see that I have got my school email account and sync is on. That means that whatever computer I sign on to, whether it's at home or here at school, if I sign in to the browser, all of my information is going to be here. Now, what information? Brings me to another point. Let's take a look at our settings. We go right here to the 3 dots and click on that, and then go down here and hover over, don't click on, but hover over bookmarks. That little arrow is going to give us a pop-out window. Now you'll see this show bookmarks bar. If yours is not checked, then you're not seeing this whole line right here across the top of the screen. You'll see that I've got all of these bookmarks. Now these are quick access points. So if I'm at home and I want to quickly access any of these shortcuts, I can access those through the bookmarks bar. All of these are my bookmarks. Now you see they're not all there. In order to get to them, I just click these double arrows and that'll be the rest of my bookmarks. How do you bookmark? The star right here. Now this box right here, Google Chrome calls this the Omnibox. This is where your URL goes. This string of letters and capitalized symbols, numbers, This is the URL. That stands for Universal Resource Locator. That is the address on the internet of where this information is stored, meaning this is where it's going to access the server to get this information. So this is called the Omnibox. Clicking this star will bookmark this page. So if I click this star, it's going to say add bookmark or add to reading list. I'm going to hit add bookmark. I can rename it and I can tell it where I want to place it. You can see that there's an ACBOE folder here. So if I click on this, I can add that to another folder. Okay? If I don't want to bookmark it, I can uncheck it. I can take it off. I thought I could. We're going to edit this bookmark and hit remove, and now it's no longer bookmarked. Okay? So I love this feature because it allows you to quickly access any documents. Another feature that I like, go over here to the three dots and then go down to settings. If we go over here on the left hand side and hit on startup, you can see that I've got email, Google Drive, OneDrive, and PowerSchool listed. So every time I open up Google Chrome, it's going to open up these 4 web pages. I love that feature. It keeps me from having to click all of these bookmarks. I can set it to open up as many pages as I want it to. So again, to do that, I simply go to the 3 dots, go to settings, and then come over here to on startup. And then I can add a new page and open as many pages on Chrome startup that I want to. Now again, that on startup is not computer startup, that's the Chrome browser. When you double click on the Chrome browser, it will open up these web pages. Love that feature. Okay. Another cool feature is grouping. If you right click on the tab up here at the top, if you right click, you can see you've got options. Now you can pin it. If you're afraid that you're going to close a tab by accident, you can hit pin and you can see it makes it smaller right here, but you can't close it by accident. Now if I want to unpin that, put it back like that. Another cool feature I like is the grouping. So if I right click and I hit add tab to new group, I'm going to name this group PowerSchool and I'm going to make it blue. Now you can see that I've got this group right here and I've got this. Now I'm going to right click on this other teacher tab. See, it's also a PowerSchool. I keep both of these open. If I right click on that, I can add tab to group and I'm going to say PowerSchool. Now you can see all of this is underlined. Now, if I have another one that's saying Google Docs, I can right click, I can add group, I'm going to do a new group. This one I'm going to name Google Docs. And I'm going to make these red. Now you can see that it's red. Now the great thing about this is now if I've got a lot of tabs open up here across the top, just simply coming over here and clicking the group name will condense all of those tabs. They're still there, it just condensed the tabs. So now it's a much more aesthetically pleasing Google Chrome browser. If I want them back, click the name again, and it's all still there. Love that feature. That's all I'm going to show you about the Chrome browser today. Chrome browser has some other features, but those are the biggest ones that I think you will find beneficial. Let's go to the next thing. In our department meeting, our social studies teachers decided to do the monthly ACAP question types, meaning in the month of December, every assessment you give, whether it is formative or summative, needs to have a true-false question. at least one. In the month of January, every assessment, whether it is formative or summative, needs to have a multiple choice question. The purpose of this is to help the students become familiar with these different question types and give them techniques, strategies to answer those questions if they don't know. I have no idea what this answer is to this multiple choice. Great. All right. Well, let's look at some strategies on how we can narrow down our choices to make a good educated guess. There's our science, our hypothesis. So starting in December, every assessment should have at least one true-false question. I will put these in my daily notes. Okay. Let's take a look next at our grading, promotion, and retention, our GPR. I've heard some feedback that some people don't know what the GPR is. So let me clarify. The GPR is the board-approved document that states all the grading guidelines, promotion guidelines, and retention guidelines for our teachers and students. We have two different GPRs. We have the one for K-6 students, and we have one for 7-12 students. So let's look at the K-6 students for right now. When we open this, give it a second, it's going to look like this. It's going to give our grading scale. It's going to give our grading procedures, breaks it down, grades 1 through 2. So we're going to come down here to grades 5 and 6 for our 6th grade teachers. This is where it designates that 9 weeks averages are composed of 50% major grades and 50% minor grades. Our 9 weeks averages must be comprised of a minimum 4 major grades and minimum 7 minor grades. At the midterm, 2 major and 3 major and 3 minor. So when I sent that email and I put that in my notes, this is where I am pulling that from. I'm not just making that up. When we come down here and look at examples of minor grades and examples of major grades, this promotion and retention, this is what tells us, okay, that regular education students in grade 3 through 6 will be retained if they fail 2 academic subjects in a given school year. This tells us what the criteria is to retain a student. Okay? And then if you scroll down, here is some additional information. Students in jeopardy of being retained should be provided with additional tiered instruction and support through RTI. Now let's go back over here and take a look at our 7 through 12 GPR. I will make all of these available to you. You can see here that our 7 through 12 GPR says, keep coming, minor grades and major grades should not be entered any less than or more than 5 weekdays. That means when you give a minor or a major grade, that grade should be entered in the grade book within 5 days. Scrolling down, we see that the 9 weeks averages for 7 through 12, 65% major, 35% minor. Take a look at that. And we scroll down here, we will see 9 weeks averages must be comprised of a minimum 3 major grades and 6 to 8 minor grades. So we want to make sure that we are meeting those grading guidelines. Again, just like with K through 6, here is a list, not exhaustive, of minor grades, and here's a list of major grades. And also, for 7 through 12, here is the criteria for being exempt from semester and final exam. And then here are the promotion and retention guidelines for 7th and 8th graders. This is what we use when we are making determinations for promotion and retention. And this is why if at the midterm or at the end of the 9 weeks, if the minimums for majors and minors are not met, I need to email you and let you know. So I'm going to put those in my notes. I was just told that some people were not familiar with that, so I wanted to make sure that you were familiar with that. If you have any questions about the GPR, please let me know. Another thing I'm thinking about in our daily announcements, I would like to theme out each day of the week. For example, on Monday, we want to focus on manners. On Tuesday, we want to focus on transitions. And we'll call that our bulldog fury, or whatever, that on that particular day we want to focus on. All right, we want to look at our transitions today. Everybody needs to get out of the hallway, no tardies to class. And on those days, we can offer incentives. This is just something that I'm thinking about, and I want you all to think about, and let's talk about some ideas. And we'll bring that to our next meeting. Next, our daily notes. So feedback that I'm getting are the daily notes that I'm sending is a lot, and I understand that. I am going to try and play around so that I am still effectively communicating to you and getting you the information that you need in a timely manner, at the same time trying to reduce the length of the emails and the frequency of the emails that you get from me. So one idea, I'm going to send my notes on Mondays and Thursdays to start. We are also going to exercise the MMS daily. Now, Ms. Jacobs was nice enough to create this, and I'm going to open this up. So each day, and what I would do again is come up here, hit this bookmark so that it puts it across this tab right here so that you can come in and you can just click it. And then we're also going to give you a QR code. So you can sit that next to your computer, you can scan your phone, or you can look at it through the web browser. But this will give you a week at a glance. It will tell you all of the teachers who are out for the day, birthdays, and then some reminders. And the hope is that you will still be able to get all of the information, but you'll have it at your access. You can access anytime, and we'll reduce the content, length of content on my daily emails. So this is a trial. We're going to see how it works. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I do still want to make sure that I am effectively communicating. So feedback would be great. I'm open to it, and we'll adjust until we reach that point where it is just the right amount of communication where you're not overwhelmed. Let's go back. It looks like that's all that I have on here for right now. There is one more thing, sorry. We are going to have an instructional walkthrough on Wednesday. This is the instructional walkthrough form. I'll send this to you. This is what I'm looking for: one or more daily outcomes with an assessment. That means that, are they producing something? What are they doing? These are your formative assessments. Your explicit instruction. 2 instructional practices in the lesson. There is student-to-student discourse. Our reading strategies. And do we have 3 identified parts of the lesson? This is what we're going to be looking for when we come through on our November 16th walkthrough. That's this Wednesday. I'm going to put this in my daily notes. I said 16th. I'm sorry, it's the 17th. That's going to be on Wednesday the 17th. If you have any questions, please let me know. And you have until the end of the day, Friday, to complete the exit slip to go along with this virtual meeting. All right. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can either talk to me, text me, or email me, but I'll be happy to get back to you. And have a great week.